Bertrand Russell once said the fool is full of doubt. But wait, he actually said the opposite. He said the real danger of this world is that the stupid are certain and the wise are full of doubt. Sit with that for a second. Because right now, someone in your life is speaking with absolute confidence about something they know nothing about, and you are listening to them like they hold the truth. That is how betrayal begins. Not with a knife, with a voice that never hesitates. We are taught to trust people who sound sure of themselves, strong opinions, fast answers, no doubt in their eyes. We call it confidence. We call it leadership. But Russell warned us that certainty is rarely wisdom. Most of the time, it is fear wearing a mask. A person terrified of being wrong will never admit they might be. And a person who can never admit fault will never protect you when it matters. They will protect their image. Every single time. So the first person you must never fully trust is the one who is never uncertain. Watch how they treat people who disagree with them. Watch how quickly disagreement turns into disrespect. That is not strength. That is a fragile ego, armored in loud opinions, waiting to break and take you down with it. But certainty alone does not destroy you. It is what comes next that does. There is another kind of person, quieter, softer, harder to spot. The one who agrees with everything you say. The one who tells you exactly what you want to hear, at exactly the moment you need to hear it. It feels like comfort. It feels like support. But Russell understood something brutal about human nature. People do not seek truth. They seek approval. And the people who give you constant approval are not loving you. They are studying you, learning what pleases you, so they can use it later. Flattery is not kindness. Flattery is a transaction disguised as affection. The moment you stop being useful to a flatterer, watch how fast the warmth disappears. That is the test. Not what someone says to your face, but what they do the day you can no longer offer them anything. And here is where it gets darker. Because the most dangerous people are not the loud ones. They are the ones who cannot bear silence. Think about it. Some people cannot sit still with their own thoughts. They need noise. They need drama. They need something happening, someone to talk about, some conflict to stir. Russell believed that much of human cruelty does not come from hatred. It comes from boredom. A mind with nothing to occupy, it will manufacture chaos just to feel alive. And who pays the price for that chaos? You do. Your name becomes the topic. Your mistakes become the entertainment. Not because they hate you, but because your pain is more interesting to them than their own emptiness. Never trust someone who needs a crisis to feel something. Because eventually, if there is no crisis available, they will create one. And you will be standing right in the middle of it. Now here is the twist most people never see coming. The most convincing liars are not strangers. They are the ones closest to you. The ones who know exactly which words will calm you down, which stories will make you feel guilty, which silences will make you chase them for approval. Betrayal from an enemy is expected. Betrayal from someone who claims to love you, that is the wound that never fully closes. And Russell's entire philosophy circles back to one brutal truth. People are rarely evil on purpose. They are simply weak. And weakness dressed as love is one of the most dangerous forces on earth. So ask yourself, who in your life apologizes with words but never changes their behavior? That is not remorse. That is management. They are managing your emotions so you stay close enough to keep using. There is one more type. And this one hides the deepest. The person who needs someone beneath them to feel powerful. Watch how they treat waiters, strangers, people who can do nothing for them. Watch how they speak about people who are struggling. Russell saw clearly what most refuse to admit, that the desire for power is one of the strongest forces driving human behavior. Stronger even than the desire for wealth. And power does not always look like control. Sometimes it looks like mockery. Sometimes it looks like quiet superiority. Sometimes it looks like someone who only feels tall when they are standing on someone else's failure. If a person needs to make others small to feel significant, they will one day need you to be small too. It is only a matter of time. But here is the part that changes everything. The part Russell wanted us to understand more than any warning about others. The most dangerous person you will ever meet is the version of yourself that stops questioning. Because it is easy to point at liars, flatterers, the loud and the fragile, the ones addicted to chaos, the ones who worship power. It is much harder to admit that under enough pressure, enough fear, enough desire to belong, you could become one of them. Silence can turn into cowardice. Confidence can turn into arrogance. Loyalty can turn into blind obedience. The line between victim and offender is thinner than anyone wants to believe. This is why Russell valued doubt so deeply. Not doubt as weakness, doubt as protection. The moment you stop questioning yourself is the moment you become dangerous to others and to your own future. Trust is not about finding perfect people. Perfect people do not exist. Trust is about paying attention, watching actions over time, noticing what someone does when there is nothing to gain, noticing how they treat people who can offer them nothing at all. Because the truth is brutal but simple. Most people will not betray you with a dramatic act of hatred. They will betray you slowly, quietly, through small comfortable choices that protect themselves first. A little silence when you needed defending. A little distance when you needed presence. A little exaggeration when the truth was inconvenient. That is how trust dies, not in one moment, but in 1,000 small ones nobody names out loud. So here is the final truth, the one worth remembering long after this video ends. Do not trust people because they sound certain. Do not trust people because they make you feel good. Do not trust people because they have known you the longest. Trust is not built on comfort. It is built on consistency, especially when comfort is gone. Watch how people treat others when no one is watching. Watch how they handle power, boredom, disagreement, and moments when they have nothing to gain. That will tell you everything words never could. And remember this above all else, the goal is not to trust no one. The goal is to stop trusting blindly. Keep your eyes open. Keep your doubt alive. Because the fool believes everyone. The wise person believes carefully. That is not cynicism. That is survival dressed as wisdom. And once you see it, you can never unsee it again.